to the court. I am its Jester. So, where we last left off, Takumi passed out again. And honestly, like, we're like halfway through the 100 days already. Like, if Takumi faints and passes out from his injuries this fucking often, it's not gonna take me a long time to complete all the routes.
Get ready for your 50th day of active service here at Last Defense Academy. That's right, folks. You're halfway there.
We are
like a lizard on a chair.
We are halfway there, and Takumi has spent more than half his time unconscious.
You're stepped in blood so far. Returning would be as tedious as to go o'er. There's no turning back now. In honor of the occasion, your commander would like to hand out some presents, but...
God damn it, he's always dead before we can get fucking presents!
If you're hearing this recording, it means your commander is no longer with you.
He's always dead before we get presents.
So, no presents for anyone today! Too bad, so sad. Try not to be mad.
I woke up to the expected sight of Nozomi sitting right in front of me. This time, she wasn't shocked at all. Instead, she looked at me with a gentle softness in her eyes.
Morning. You're awake now?
It's been 10 days. I didn't have to ask about the day since it was mentioned in the announcement just now.
It's day 50 today.
Yeah, you've been asleep a lot, Takumi.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry about the feeding drips. We went to the second academy and brought a whole lot back.
Takumi has spent so much time unconscious that we had to go to a different school to get more feeding drips to keep him alive while he was unconscious.
Oh. Thanks as always.
You should thank the others too. They were the ones who actually got the drips, and I wasn't the only person taking care of you while you were out.
I sat up in bed. For some strange reason, I wasn't feeling any aches or pains. You seem fine physically. The truth is, your external injuries weren't as bad as they seemed. Takumi blew up. Which means the real reason I was out for such a long time was because of the fainting disease. Just curious, how many routes does Takumi catch fainting disease in? Is this the only one? I think so. Has anything changed? If you mean the murder cases, we haven't made any progress. Ima and Darumi are still denying they were working together. Tsubasa and I don't believe they did anything either, but the others... Oh, something else has changed though. Ima's been taking part in the defensive battles. What? You shielded him back with the academy at the enemy relay station, remember? He said he's joining the fight for you. I see. That said, he's still as reticent as ever, and hardly ever leaves his room otherwise. Who can blame him, though? Other than Tsubasa and me, everybody's suspicious of him. But he did say that he was willing to tell you and only you everything.
Huh?
Really? Yep. So go find him later, okay? Later? Were you expecting me to not act right now after what you just told me? I jumped up and dashed outside immediately. What the fuck, Ima? Why do you have so many pictures of your sister? Mr. Sumino, first of all, thank you for saving me that day. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Don't mention it, really. What I really want to hear from you is some answers. Ima nodded firmly. I was going to tell you everything after you woke up anyway. Not only because I owe you a debt of gratitude, but also because I'm now sure you couldn't have been the killer. Because the real killer would never risk his own life to save me like that. It is my deepest desire to find the person who killed my dear sister. And then smash their face in with a hammer over and over again until there's nothing left of it. Yet I am but a detective's assistant. I do not deal well with deductions.
Huh?
So I have decided to entrust this earnest wish of mine to you.
Ah.
I have the utmost confidence that you have what it takes to bring the truth to light.
Huh?
I intend to do just that, as soon as I get some answers from you. Now, first of all, why didn't you kill Takumi? What? You think the killer is one of us, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes. When Kako's body was found, you and Takumi were the only ones not in the gym. Unless you were the killer. But that can't be, right? Of course not! If so, from your perspective, the only other person who could have been hiding in the storeroom at that point of time was none other than Takumi. Yet you didn't go smash her head in with a hammer until there was nothing left. Why not? Mr. Sumino, I see what you are getting at, and you are right. It was because I knew it was possible for someone else to have been my dear sister's killer. Because there's a hidden exit in that storeroom, right? He nodded slowly in response to my question. Opposite the cockpit section of the escape pod lay a heap of metal containers. When we moved the heap away, we found a large ventilation shaft. Is this it? Yes. It's big enough even for Takemaru and Moko to pass through. You are quite right. Have you ever gone inside before? No, sir. I stuck my head into the shaft but couldn't see anything in the pitch black darkness. When did you realize there was a storeroom here? About day 10, I would say. My dear sister found the entrance first. She was the one who brought me here. After that, we would secretly visit this place together whenever we had some free time. It became something like a secret hiding spot of ours. Why didn't you tell anyone? I did not tell you before because I thought you were my dear sister's killer. I did not tell the others because, well, promise you will not get angry. Yeah? Because my sister and I had intended to flee this place together in that escape pod. That's not possible. The door can't be opened manually. We thought we could do something about that by tinkering with the control system in the war room. I sighed and continued the conversation. But you kept this place a secret even after Kako was murdered. If you told us about it, we'd be able to accept your assertion that Kako hadn't killed herself. I promised my dear sister that no matter what happened, I would never tell anyone about this place. She had tears in her eyes when she made me promise. I want us to live together in the Tokyo residential complex again. Just the two of us. But we have to get out of this place first. We'll be killed one day if we stay here.
Yeah.
I believe I may have dropped the handkerchief at that time. When I was putting it back into my pocket after wiping my dear sister's tears away. This place was our sanctuary. We didn't want anyone else invading our space. Even after my dear sister lost her life, it felt like I would be desecrating her memory by allowing someone else in. That is why I told nobody. Large tears started rolling down Ima's cheeks, and I wordlessly held out his handkerchief to him. Ima accepted the handkerchief and clutched it tightly in his hand. He squeezed his eyes shut, and for a long time after that, his shoulders trembled nonstop. After Ima had calmed down, we climbed back up to the surface. Tsubasa was in the garage as usual when we stepped inside. Ima, you're an unusual sight around here. Even more unusual than me being awake. I mean, I already heard about you from Nozomi. She's been going around telling everyone the news, you know. Anyway, what's up? Just wanted to know if there's a recon drone anywhere around here, with lights and cameras if possible. Yes, but what do you need it for? It's kind of hard to explain. Can you just come with us and bring the recon drone? We need it to solve the case. Tsubasa blinked a few times in quick succession at Ima's words. Alright, give me a sec. Uh-oh. If there's a ventilation shaft here, that means I see how it is now. Yeah, exactly. If Kako was killed, the presence of this shaft makes everybody in the academy a suspect, including the Safers for Shoma's case. Including me? Yet you still brought me here? Does that mean you trust me? Kind of, sort of. You don't sound very sure. I'll take it though. Okay, let's start. Thanks. We used the drone to investigate the ventilation shaft. As a result, we were able to make a few major discoveries. Right. In summary, this is what we've learned. First of all, the shaft bends in a zigzag shape a few times and extends toward the school building. It splits into a grid structure halfway and connects to different parts of the building.
Oh!
Anyone using this can basically exit from anywhere they like. However, the bends are extremely narrow, and people our size can't possibly get through them. Only someone with a body the size of a small child could have gone through those bends. Shoma is very small. He is pocket-sized. I'm more concerned about what we found halfway. Yeah, me too. This thing, right? This thing got caught in the protrusion of the interior wall. Thankfully, we were able to retrieve it because I had the foresight to attach a robotic arm to the drone. It's a piece of cloth, right? A square green piece of cloth about an inch long. And who wears green? I don't think Shoma had it in him to kill someone, though. Shoma! Really? Shoma? I looked at Ima and then Tsubasa. They looked back at me with wide, questioning eyes. It was apparent that they hadn't yet realized the grave implication behind this. Maybe a certain incident had blinded them to the existence of that possibility. I put the piece of cloth in my pocket, looked them both in the eye, and said, Tell everyone to gather at the gym at 7 p.m. tonight. Huh? This is quite sudden. Please, just do it. They turned to look at each other. I don't mind. What will you be doing until then? Well, you'll see. I had enough proof to make my case, but I wanted just one more piece of key evidence. I don't think Shoma could literally kill a fly. I think that if a mosquito was like stinging Shoma and trying to drink his blood, Shoma wouldn't slap it. He would just let it drink his blood. Shoma! Shoma, I believed in you! Shoma! So I went back to the school, to the place where Shoma had been stabbed. I spent a few hours thoroughly investigating every nook and cranny. Before long, the sun set and my shadow started to grow longer. It was at that time that I found something, a faint trace of blood on a corner of a rock. It was maybe 30 feet away from where Shoma had been stabbed. I didn't think blood from his injuries could have sprayed that far, which meant... Fuck. I entered the gym at 7 p.m. sharp to find everybody already gathered there. Eva, you're here too? Yes, I have received an official release. I have been given Ato's room and do not have to sleep in the cage anymore. All credit goes to Takumi and Tsubasa. The remote detonator you suggested has allowed everyone to accept my presence with the greatest peace of mind. I duplicated the device and gave a copy to everyone. I'll pass you yours later, Takumi. Nah, I don't need one. That aside, what are we all here for? Well, you see... I turned my gaze upward, then slowly lowered my head.
I figured out who killed Kako and stabbed Shoma.
All the evidence points to one person. What the fuck? This takes all seriousness away from it, of it individually going to every person with that. What the fuck? Mr. Sumino, wait a minute, please. You just said with absolute certainty that my sister was indeed killed? Yes, the situation points to that fact. Who did it? Ima, I need you to promise me something first. Promise you won't lay a finger on the killer when you realize who they are. Oh, that's gonna be a promise he fucking breaks. I won't tell you the truth unless you promise me that. I saw him gritting his teeth with a scowl on his face. Still, he nodded firmly and said, Fine. I promise I won't lay a finger on that accursed scum.
Good. All right. Much as I wish I didn't have to do this. Here goes. The person who killed Kako and stabbed Shoma. It was. The name of that person is.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, are we doing the evidence? Are these our truth bullets? The person who killed Kako and stabbed Shoma is... Oh, they're making us pick. Gaku's dead! Is Shoma the one behind this? It makes sense. The only other person I could think who has the green on their outfit that could have been taken was Kurara from her mask, but I don't think that's the case.
The real killer.
You! Shoma Gensaki!
What are you talking about, Takumi?
You killed Kako and then you stabbed yourself to make sure that people, but with knowing that everyone would bring you to the Revival-matic, so that being stabbed is the perfect alibi.
Have you forgotten that I was a victim too? I was stabbed!
You stabbed yourself.
Stop running your mouth and just watch as I expose every last detail of your criminal wrongdoings from start to finish.
Takumi wants to be Makoto. Takumi wants to be Makoto so fucking bad. You're never gonna be Makoto, Takumi! You're never gonna be the protagonist that he was! I miss Makoto. Oh dear God, we're doing this. I'll tell you what happened in chronological order. Let's start with Kako. Her estimated time of death is between 1 and 4 a.m. on day 27. You met up with her before that on day 26 to tell her to come to the gym during that period of time. Yeah, but I like Makoto more. Makoto never roofied his friends. Makoto's a good boy. So she showed up to the gym as asked, where you made up some reason for her to swallow that thing.
That thing? What thing?
I'm talking about TTX. Tetrodotoxin.
I like Makoto more than Takumi. I miss Makoto. That's how you poisoned Kako to death. After poisoning Kako, you put the bottle of TTX into her right hand. Then you blocked the gym door using a mop as a latch, thinking you could make her death seem like a suicide with all that nonsense. Once that was done, you climbed down the ladder at the corner of the stage into the escape pod storeroom. You already knew that shaft was there, because you'd seen Ima and Kako going into the trapdoor before. You did your homework and went down to check out the storeroom as well, before carrying out your plan. That's why you also knew about the ventilation shaft. And you used that vent to return to the school building. That's the main reason causing me to single you out as the culprit. The main reason?
Anyone could have used the ventilation shaft to get back into the school.
I can. Because of how the shaft bends in a zigzag shape and extends towards the school building.
The bends are extremely narrow. Only someone with a body the size of a small child could have gone through those bends. In other words, the only one who could have gone through those narrow bends is you, Shoma. You can't say that for sure. A girl who was flexible enough could have passed through as well, right? No, it's physically impossible. Anyway, there was something left behind in the ventilation shaft. That's what's going to serve as the irrefutable proof of your guilt.
Irrefutable proof?
Here it is. This square piece of inch-wide green cloth.
Out of all of us, only Kurara, Takamaru, and Shoma wear something green on them. But Kurara's tomato mask isn't made of cloth, so this scrap can't be hers. The shade of green on Takamaru's jacket is less vibrant than the scrap, too. Shoma, turn around. Why? Just do it! I just checked. Part of Shoma's backpack has been torn. The torn part perfectly matches this cloth scrap. Indeed, I too witnessed it, and have concluded they are a perfect match. You couldn't have passed through the narrow bends of that shaft while still wearing your backpack. But you couldn't leave it in the shaft either. So you tied the shoulder straps to your feet and pulled it along as you climbed. That's how the backpack got caught on the sharp edge protruding out of the inner wall of the shaft. This cloth scrap got torn off because of it. No! This is fake evidence planted by the real culprit! Someone's trying to frame me! If that was the case, why would that someone stab you? That one act would completely divert all suspicion away from you. Now this next part is all just conjecture. Shoma, you were actually intending to kill Ima as well, weren't you? That plan went awry because Kako showed up to the gym alone. So you had no choice but to kill only her. But that made things difficult for you because Ima knew about the storeroom as well. What's more, he also knew about the ventilation shaft. If he told anybody about the shaft, this would no longer be a locked room case. And if we pursued the case as a murder, we would eventually close in on you. So you wanted to kill Ima afterwards. But it was almost dawn by the time you crawled out from the ventilation shaft. And that left you with no time to do anything about Ima. So you panicked and started thinking about ways to remove yourself from the suspect list. That's how you ended up deciding to kill yourself. If you could make everyone think you had been mutilated by the culprit, we would never even dream of suspecting you. You're being ridiculous! This is way too bold of a plan for someone like me!
Who would dare kill themselves just to make it seem like they were innocent?
Of course. Actually dying was never part of your plan.
In fact, you were absolutely confident you wouldn't die because we have the Revive-O-Matic in the infirmary. But for that to work, you had to die in a way that allowed us to find your body quickly. After all, we wouldn't be able to revive you if too much time had passed. That's why you screamed, right? And right after the morning announcement so that everyone could hear you. Then you stabbed yourself all over and temporarily ended your own life. I can't believe I'm listening to this. Please be realistic. No one in their right mind would willingly stab themselves that many times.
It just doesn't make any sense. We're not talking about cutting your wrists or slitting your throat here.
Oh wait, that was the wrong name.
No?
No, that was the wrong thing. I clicked the wrong thing. I I clicked the. I forgot the name of the drug. I didn't remember the name of the drug.
Who would dare kill them?
Of course.
It just doesn't make any sense.
No, it is possible.
If you injected yourself with a powerful anesthetic like Gammafield, remember what Yugami said? At the proper dilution, the substance can numb the body's pain and emotional receptors without causing a loss of consciousness.
Oh.
Yep, and I still stand by that. It does make sense. So you're trying to say that I used that drug to do the deed, right? But where would I even find a drug like that? You probably stole it from somewhere.
Stole it from where?
From the biolab.
That room isn't locked, and everyone has access to the shelves. Getting the drug from there wouldn't have been a problem for you. Alright. Assuming I did inject myself with that anesthetic.
How did I get rid of the hypodermic needle afterwards? When you found me at the back of the building, was there anything like that on me? There wasn't, right?
Did he swallow it? I would have thought he hid it in his backpack.
How did I get rid of the hypodermic needle after?
Tossed it away, because that's where the blood was on the rock.
You must have tossed it somewhere far away when you were done with it.
What about the knife? Where did the knife I used to stab myself disappear to? You tossed that far away as well, just like you did with the syringe. Did anyone find any of those things at the scene? No, but nobody searched the area nearby on day 27, the day of the incident. You could have collected those items the next day on day 28 after you woke up. But still, you're just guessing at this point. You've got no real proof. No proof that I threw the knife away after stabbing myself. I do have proof. It's not with me right now, but I did find something. There was something, some 30 feet away from where we found you.
What was it?
I saw blood stains. Just a little patch on the corner of a rock.
In a place where blood from your injuries couldn't have reached. Those stains proved that the bloodied knife had been thrown over there. That's enough already! It doesn't matter what you're trying to say, because you have no solid proof.
The green cloth was the only piece of substantial evidence you managed to produce.
It's time you stopped playing dumb, Shoma.
I do actually have another piece of conclusive evidence. What? The bottle of TTX Kaka was holding. Your fingerprints were on it.
That can't be. It can't be. It just can't. My fingerprints can't be on that bottle. I was wearing gloves when I...
Oh.
You fell for it.
No. That was just a slip of the tongue. I mean... It was just... Anyway, I'm not...
Give it up, Shoma. I'll say it again. The person who killed Kako by making her drink TTX. It was none other than you! Shoma Genzake!
Shoma, why? you do this? I believed in you! Ima, get the hammer. Takumi, you got a few things wrong, but for the most part, you were correct. It was me. I killed Kako. Yeah, let Ima off his leash. Let him go, mad dog. Back off, Ima. You promised. Fuck your promise, Takumi. Let Ima get the hammer. So which parts did I get wrong? The entire premise to begin with. I did not kill her of my own volition. I was ordered to do so by a certain someone. Let's call this person X for now. Stop trying to make excuses for yourself. I'm telling the truth. Please believe me. Tell us more about this order you received. Just before dawn on day 26, I woke up to someone tapping my cheek. When I opened my eyes, X was there right in front of me. You didn't lock the door? I did! I think X was already hiding inside before I came in. Under the bed or something. What did X say? X said,
I killed Gaku and intend to make you my next target.
oh, the naked gray person from Danganronpa is here. Yay.
But I'll let you off if you follow my instructions.
This is like Danganronpa and Zero Escape just were like, fuck yeah, here's our offspring, let's go.
If you go against me or tell the others about my existence, I'll blow up the bomb inside your body immediately. Yes, the bomb planted in all of your bodies by that robot known as Searay.
Just who is this X person? I don't know. They were wearing a long black poncho. They wore a mask over their face and used a voice changer to hide their real voice. That sounds like the fake stabber you made up to fool us. I mean, it's true I wasn't stabbed by a person of that description, but that person definitely still exists. What happened after that? I followed X's instructions. I didn't want to be killed the way Gaku had been. X came up with the entire plan. They told me about the ladder shaft, the escape pod hanger, and the ventilation shaft. The Chitrodoxin. It was X who obtained that bottle of TTX2. After that, I simply asked Kako to meet using the script X had prepared. What did the script say? To speak to her on the afternoon of day 26. Kako, I know about the storeroom with the escape pod too. I did some research in the library and found a way to open the cockpit and launch the pod into space. So would you like to escape from this academy together with me and Ima? If so, come with Ima to the gym tonight at 2 a.m. The plan was to kill not just Kako, but Ima as well. Because they were the only other people who knew about the storeroom. Killing them both at the same time in a locked room would make their death seem like a suicide. But only Kako showed up at the gym at that specified time. Why? Kako said this. I haven't told my dear brother of what you told me yet. First, I need to verify whether your information is authentic or not. If it's true, then we set off tomorrow. But keep it a secret from my dear brother, alright? I want to surprise him. I hesitated to execute the plan because she had shown up alone. But X also told me,
If you chicken out and do nothing, I'll still blow you up.
so I passed Kako a water bottle mixed with TTX. Takumi more or less covered what happened after that until I returned to the school building. Except I had not foreseen that my backpack would get torn along the way. After returning to the first floor of the school building, I was at a loss because I didn't know what I was supposed to do about Ema. It was going to be difficult to kill him because the sun had already risen by then. Suddenly, X appeared again.
Ema probably knows about the ventilation shaft. If he spills the beans, they'll all know Kako didn't die in a locked room. They'll start investigating the case as a murder instead of assuming it was a suicide. The morning announcement will be playing soon. You won't make it back to the roof in time. Somebody will realize you were out and about before dawn. But rest assured, for if you do as I say, you'll never even make it to the suspect list.
That's why you went to the back of the building, Aunt. Yes, I had been left with no other choice. But I was hesitant right up until the moment I injected myself with gamma fuel. Once I did that, it was as if my sense of fear completely evaporated. Oh, X gave me the gamma fuel as well, along with a knife and syringe. I'm pretty sure X must have been the one to collect the knife and syringe that I dropped after I did the deed. Because I know I definitely didn't retrieve them. The story thus told, Shoma slumped his shoulders and bowed his head deeply. The silence that followed stretched on until Haruko finally spoke up. I just have one last question, Shoma. Do the words back or heart ring any bells? Back or heart? No, I have no idea. Thank you. Your reaction was the answer I needed. I guess that's that, Takumi. Yeah, X must have done it, if Shoma wasn't involved in that particular affair. Everybody was looking at us in confusion. Probably because nobody knew that someone had stolen the hearts from the dead bodies. Then Shoma started trembling like a leaf, as if he suddenly remembered something. No! That's it! I'm gone for! I told you about X! The bomb inside me is going to blow up now! Nothing's happening. Did this X person lie to you? I think they must have. An amateur can't possibly make a detonator for the bomb in our bodies. Only someone with my level of skill and experience. So Mr. Gonzaki won't be executed? Then I'll do it myself! I'll kill you! I'll tear you limb from limb! Ema let out a guttural roar and charged towards Shoma so quickly no one had time to react. He shoved Shoma to the ground, clambered on top of him, and started strangling him so hard it almost seemed like he might rip his head off.
Go to hell!
Okay, yeah, this is happening.
Ema, no!
What can I do? I ran over to panic and pulled Ema off. Shoma had fainted and was frothing at his mouth. Yugamu darted over and conducted a quick check.
He's fine. Just passed out.
Oh yeah, he's fine.
Damn it! Damn it! Dear sister! My dear sister! My dear sister!
After that heartbreaking outburst, Ema simply collapsed on the spot. Nozomi and Tsubasa rushed over and started comforting him. Everybody else was at a loss, simply staring quietly at Ema as they stood rooted to the spot. The sound of Ema's pained wails echoed coldly and endlessly through the walls of the building. We moved the unconscious Shoma into the cage in the courtyard and made sure it was properly locked. Once that was done, I shoved the key deep inside my pocket. Everyone returned to their rooms without saying another word. I soon found myself completely alone. Looking up at the night sky, I thought about what had happened. Kako's case had been solved, but that didn't mean it was all over. Someone out there killed Gaku and instructed Shoma to kill Kako. This was likely the same person who had been stealing hearts from the bodies in the morgue. X, the real mastermind behind this entire string of events. I had to find out who this person was, by hook or by crook, and I would, no matter what I did. It's Ato. It's fucking Ato. It's Ato. I clenched my fist tightly. I would let nothing shake me from this firm resolve. Ato hid under Shoma's bed. Ato loves hiding under people's beds.
Up and Atom troops, time to rise and shine! Get ready for your 51st day of active service here at Last Defense Academy. Prepare to spend another day enduring the unendurable and suffering the insufferable to pave the way for humanity's future greatness. Be ready to give your lives to protect our beloved school from the vile and barbaric enemy.
Guys! Wake up! Something's happened!
Oh, what the fuck? Upon hearing that loud cry, I dashed out of my room. What happened?
Huh?
What's going on? I was up early, so I went to check on Shoma, and... Shoma, he... What happened to him? Just come with me, quickly! We all knew where we were going. Everybody made a mad dash for the courtyard together. We ran through the second floor hallway and burst into the courtyard, then ran toward the cage without stopping. There we saw... Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, it was definitely Ato possessing Takumi's body, because Takumi had the only key.
Shoma!
Kiyoshika grabbed the gate and tried to open it.
It is still locked and will not budge. Doesn't Takumi have the key?
Hold on, I'll unlock it now.
I dug the key out of my pocket and slotted it into the keyhole. Once the gate was unlocked, I opened it and went inside. I immediately ran to Shoma and touched his neck, checking for a pulse. At that moment, something felt a little off.
It's wet.
What?
I touched his clothes and they were wet as well.
Well, is he alive or not?
I already checked that. As you can clearly see, he's already...
Maybe we can still revive him if we bring him to the infirmary like last time.
Since I had touched the body, I already knew that too much time had passed. But I decided to go along with it anyway.
Yeah, we should try that.
Cause of death, hemorrhagic shock. Estimated time of death, day 51, between 2 and 5 a.m. Multiple stab wounds on the chest and abdomen. The murder weapon is likely a sharp blade about 8 inches long. Too much time has passed since death. Insufficient cryptoglobin present in the body. Impossible to revive. After everyone had a chance to view the monitor, the mood in the room became heavier.
Huh?
The hell's going on? How'd the killer get to Shoma when the cage was locked? Takumi, did you lock your door last night? Yes, I did, so nobody could have stolen the key from me while I was sleeping. And I know I'm repeating myself, but that key is unique. It cannot be copied. Well, that narrows down the list of possible suspects to just Takumi, right? Don't you ever get tired of mindlessly repeating the same thing? I have been insistent that it is Ato possessing Takumi's body at night.
Hey!
Aren't we overlooking the other possibility? That he stabbed himself like before? This time in a way that would be impossible for us to revive him? I can't think of any other reason why he'd wind up dead in a locked cage in the middle of the night. Well then, who supplied him with the knife? It had to be X, right? If it was X, they would have passed him some gamma fiel in a syringe. Yeah, ain't no one strong enough to keep molitating yourself like that without being drugged the hell out of their mind. He could have used one of the bottles that had been stolen previously. We moved Shoma's remains to the morgue. There were now 4 bodies lying on the tables there. At Ima's request, we made sure that Kako and Shoma's bodies were not placed next to each other. Ima walked to Shoma's dead body and stared at it for a long time, then said, "You got what you deserved." After that, we investigated the courtyard together. Despite combing over every inch of the area, we found no trace of a knife or syringe. The only thing we found was a balloon. It was lying on the floor near Shoma's cage. Although I couldn't immediately figure out if it was related to the case, I decided to stuff it into my pocket just in case. Soon, the last rays of sunlight disappeared into the horizon, and the darkness of night took over. It was already way past dinner time. Seeing that none of us had an appetite after all that, we skipped the cafeteria and gathered in the rec room instead. This makes it 3 people who have lost their lives because of X. We don't know for sure if X had anything to do with Shoma's case yet. Of course they did! We'd be in serious trouble if it wasn't X. Because that would mean there are 2 killers of X's caliber running around free. So who do you think X might be? Everyone fell silent. This was the question I was dreading the most. And it seemed like the others felt the same. Ever since Shoma shared his side of the story last night, we'd all been avoiding that particular issue. But it was time to face reality. I steeled myself and turned to Tsubasa. Tsubasa, do you still have the organic life detection device? Yes.
Oh.
12. The exact same number as the people present here. That means somebody among us is X. No, wait. It could have been someone who came in at midnight and left the school before the sun came up. Sadly, that's not possible. This device comes with a history log. At 4 a.m. last night, the number changed from 13 to 12 and stayed there. So, sure Shoma was murdered at 4 a.m. last night. Yeah. Miss Magatori, we were discussing something important here. The number reduced by 1 when Shoma lost his life. But after that, it neither went up or down. Proving that nobody came into this school or left it, right? Yes. Thing is, we're all screwed if we don't do something. Hex threatened to kill us all in that message, and they're doing just that. The more we put this off, the more people will be dropping dead one by one. Well, I agree with the part about doing something at least. Hey, Takumi, you're the leader. Come up with something. Maybe. How about we make it compulsory to move around in groups of at least three during the day? Didn't someone mention that before 3 is a risky number? That was because your 2 other teammates could be working together. But the situation has changed. According to Shoma, X is just 1 person. That's right. So a group of 3 should be fine. What about at night? Feels like that's the main thing. So far, all of them were taken out at night. Then we should... Done and done. Are we all going to be sleeping here from now on? How bland and boring. getting the evacuation center vibes here. Would you prefer bland and boring or dead in a ditch? We've used curtains to divide the area up into rooms, so everybody will have some semblance of privacy. Is this really going to work? What if the killer strikes while we're all sleeping? In fact, that's why we've avoided sleeping in one spot until now, right? Yes, and that's why I'm thinking of having a sentry system. 3 people will be on watch at all times. We'll also rotate one person out every hour. And if anything happens, just shout. That's reassuring. Now I can get a good night's rest. My skin will thank me. Looks like we're agreed then. This arrangement should stop X from causing further harm. We should be safe for a while. Now we just had to continue on our investigation and expose X's identity before they tried anything. There was just one other thing that was bothering me. Shoma was killed today. I saw his body with my own eyes, which meant... What the fuck?! What the fuck do you mean?!
Up and Atom troops, time to rise and shine!
Why are we at day 75? Why am I not allowed any free time to fucking give characters gifts? God damn it!
Get ready for your 75th day of active service here at Last Defense Academy!
This is maddening. This is fucking maddening.
Prepare to spend another day enduring the unendurable and suffering the insufferable to pave the way for humanity's future greatness. Be ready to give your lives to protect our beloved school from the vile and barbaric enemy!
I woke up to the sound of the morning announcement. The first thought that to cross my mind at the time was, not again, along with a sense of resignation. Looking up at the unfamiliar ceiling, it took me a few seconds to realize I was in the gym. I stood up from my makeshift bed, pulled open the curtain divider, and stepped outside. Takumi! He's awake! He awakened! I ain't one to sweat the small stuff, but you gave us a real scare this time. You were out for 23 whole days! Jesus fucking Christ! We were literally awake for like 1 day. Takumi was awake for like 1 or 2 days before passing out again. Is that a new record? Oh, for the love of murder. I turned slowly to look at everyone, then said, everyone's safe. Thanks to your last words. My last words? For us to move in groups during the day and sleep together at night. Remember? Those were the instructions you gave us on day 51? Literally 1 day. We woke up on day 50. We passed out on day 51. We've been able to survive this whole time because of them. You've been able to survive because when Takumi's fucking unconscious, Eito can't possess him and do this. X hasn't had the opportunity to strike. That also means X is still... Yes, we still don't know who they are. If we did, we would have thrown them in a cage and tossed away the key already. Now that I got a better look at them, I saw signs of fatigue on everyone's faces. X is among us. I'll be killed if I walk around with only one other person. They've all had to spend the last 23 days under the crushing weight of such thoughts. It's no wonder their mental fatigue was starting to show physically. Oh right, there's something you need to know. What is it? About 10 days ago, we met the boy with the undying flames. He showed himself?
Yeah!
Well, he was feeling very unwell, but he said he just had to tell us something. And what was that? I recently found out there's something called a distress signal transmitter somewhere in this school. It was put here in the event that all but one member of Team 1 dying. Only Team 1 though, because the two teams joining together had not been anticipated. The people on the satellite did not think Team 2 would ever come here. At any rate, no matter how strong they were, a single fighter wouldn't be able to win this war on their own. Instead, that survivor would be extracted and put on standby while the people in charge put together a fresh team for a new attempt. Once the correct series of codes had been entered into the transmitter, it would, well, transmit a distress signal. Once the artificial satellite received it, they'd send a rescue craft to the school. The survivor would get on board and be taken back to the satellite. That's supposed to be the sequence of events. Also, the rescue craft does not have a capacity restriction. That means people from both Teams 1 and 2 can board with no issues. The second to last defense academy does not have a transmitter of its own, so bringing the team over here was definitely the right move. Unfortunately, I do not know where that transmitter is located. Still, it seemed to me like this information could be of some use to you. That's why I came here to tell you about it. A distress signal transmitter. I've never seen or heard of any such thing before. Same here. After hearing that, we split into groups to search for the transmitter, but we still haven't found it. It doesn't matter. We'd have put the transmitter on the back burner for now. Finding the identity of X was our top priority. X was most likely the one to kill Shoma. Or they could have ordered someone else to do it, like they did for Kako. At any rate, X was absolutely involved in Shoma's murder. As long as we could figure out who killed Shoma, we'd find out who X is. Alright. I clenched my fists tightly. Haruko, Tsubasa, come with me.
Oh?
What? Where? To the courtyard. I'm going to reinvestigate the scene of Shoma's murder. Very well. I don't mind, but... What's that? Can we have breakfast first? I'm starving. And thus, Haruko, Tsubasa, and I went to the courtyard together after having breakfast. Why did you ask us to come along? I can't go against my own last words now, can I? The part about moving together in groups during the day? But why choose us? No reason in particular, I just felt like it. Felt like it. One of us could very well be X. Then it'll be a 2-on-1 fight. What if X tries to destroy evidence during this investigation? I'm not worried. They would have already done that while I was unconscious if it was that important. Yes, that is true. Then what are you investigating? One question before I answer that. Nobody had an alibi for 4 a.m. on day 51, right? When Shoma was killed? Yes, we were all sleeping in our rooms. Well, Eva was in Eito's room, actually. But you know what I mean. What about the murder weapon or any other clues? So far, we haven't found anything. In that case, the fastest way to identify X is to see who could have possibly killed Shoma under those circumstances. The killer likely used a special method to kill Shoma while he was locked in the cage. Figuring out what that method was could break this case wide open. Who could have done that was the best line of investigation to pursue. How exactly are we going to do that? This place is so big that I have no idea where to even start. We need some sort of clue first. There is a clue. Shoma's body was wet when we first found it, remember? I think finding out why may very well be the key to solving this case. I walked over to the courtyard fountain. There was a valve with a handle on the side, probably for adjusting the amount of water being spouted. I opened it completely, and then a frightening amount of water gushed out all at once, making the fountain look like an erupting geyser or open dam. A giant column of water shot up to the sky and came down again like a downpour of rain. I quickly turned the handle to close the valve, Soon the water slowed considerably and went back to its normal flow. That was close. What exactly were you trying to do? I'm glad I was standing over here. I'd be all wet by now if I'd been any closer. Next, I checked the central drain. It was more like a tunnel than a drain. The water flowed deep into the tunnel. There was a large handle here as well. I turned to the handle and a wall came down from the top of the tunnel, completely sealing up the drain. After checking it, I returned the handle to its original position. I briefly saw Haruko and Tsubasa staring at me in confusion, and as I proceeded to my next destination, the cage where Shoma had been. We already checked every last inch of that cage. There are no hidden tunnels underneath it, and the bars are as strong as can be. No scratches on the lock either, and no traces of anything that had been tampered with. The hinges of the gate are also untouched. As I was listening to them, my eyes wandered to the top of the cage. Officially, this cage is an animal pen. I think it was supposed to be modeled after a bird cage or something. You see that ring suspended from the top there? Yes, what about it? I didn't answer, instead lowering my glance to the bottom of the cage, where something caught my eye. This cage isn't secured to the floor. It's just a bottomless cage placed on top of a base. But the cage is impossible to move manually. It literally weighs a ton. How do you know that? There was a blueprint of the courtyard on the war room's computer that had some information about it. I see. So it weighs 1 ton. Hey, that reminds me. Do you know this courtyard was originally created as a biotope for space developmental research? Biotope? I'll try to keep the explanation as brief as possible. It's said that before world death, Earth was full of different kinds of terrain, like arid regions and rainforests. And each of these regions were inhabited by living things unique to that area, including plants, microorganisms, and vertebrates. For research purposes, this place had originally been created as a perfect replica of the ecosystems those creatures had been living in. That's why there are blasts of hot air to simulate the desert environment. It can also withstand the atmospheric pressures many times Earth's range. But wouldn't that amount of pressure cause the windows to break? What are you talking about? Those things over there aren't windows. They're all display screens, including the ceiling. Look carefully, and you'll see the light flickering every once in a while. There's no way the sky could be visible from here. We are inside the school after all. You might be right, but what about the exits on both sides connected to the hallways? Atmospheric pressure can escape from those exits when it gets too high, right? Those places were closed in the beginning, covered by partition walls. Don't you remember? Oh, right. They opened up after Sir released them. In other words, as long as the walls on those exits and drains are down, the courtyard is a completely sealed space. A completely sealed space. Are you done here? Shall we return to the gym? Not yet. There's just one more thing. This. A balloon? The one we found during our investigation on day 51? Why do you think it was found so close to the cage? I have no idea. I can hardly imagine it being someone's personal belonging. The more likely possibility is that someone made it using the Gift-O-Matic. Gift-O-Matic? We'll definitely be able to find a clue if we go there. We made our way to the rec room. Investigating the Gift-O-Matic resulted in a few discoveries. So in summary, the official name of this is the sturdy rubber balloon. It was made using a very durable material. The description on the box mentions it doesn't break easily. The balloon has the capacity of 10 liters. It should be quite big when blown up. According to the history logs, it's been crafted a total of 100 times. Who needs that many balloons? And for what? Unfortunately, we won't be able to find out who crafted them. That data and only that data has been erased. After reviewing our findings, I put the balloon back into my pocket. Tsubasa, is there a tire pump in the parking lot? Yeah, an electric air compressor. Is it portable? Of course it is. It has the caster wheels attached to it. Anybody can move it anywhere. But why do you ask? Sorry, let me gather my thoughts first. I'll explain it all to everyone once I have a clearer picture of how events unfolded. A clearer picture? When will that happen? Probably by 7 p.m. tonight. Are we suggesting that someone took 100 balloons from the gift-o-matic, filled them all with helium, and then tied them all to the cage to lift it up and make it float so they could kill Shoma? We returned to the gym together, where I immediately started sorting out my thoughts. I don't know, I just think my idea of, hey, Eito is possessing Takumi's body at night when Takumi's asleep, and the key was in Takumi's pocket, so, you know. The day flew by as I did, and soon it was night. The time I had asked everyone to meet me had arrived. I don't know what Tears of the Kingdom is. Is that a video game? If so, I have not played it. It was exactly 7 p.m. when I quietly said to everyone, "Hey guys, can we all move to the courtyard? I have something important to discuss." Oh, I have not played any of the Zelda games. What is this important thing we all had to come all the way here to discuss? Well, you see, I turned my gaze upward, then slowly lowered my head.
I figured out who killed Shoma.
First, we must answer the how. How did the killer stab Shoma while he was inside a locked cage? Once we can figure that out, the identity of the killer becomes apparent. Because only that person could have done all that under those circumstances. Just cut to the chase and tell us who the killer is already.
All right. I'll tell you. The person who killed Shoma, it was. The name of that person is...
The person who killed Shoma is... I have no fucking idea. Can I just vote Takumi? I think it was Eito. Oh, Eito's on the map. Yeah, let's just vote Eito. Is Eito the one behind this? Yes. The real killer is Eito Atsuki.
Huh?
Sorry, what? Huh? Eito's long dead, though. Yeah, you killed him yourself, Takumi. What are you trying to say? How does a dead body do any killing? Very well. Allow me to explain. What you did was, you know, it's all very simple. You were... This guy's stinking to high heavens.
Of course he is. He's X after all. Hey, now that I think about it, nobody got attacked whenever he was unconscious, right? Maybe he's trying to frame someone else to make the rest of us let our guard down.
After that, he'll tell us there is no need to travel in groups or sleep together anymore, and then commit his next crime. So he brought this matter up in a futile attempt to shift suspicion away from him. It does make sense. Yes, it does indeed. One after another, the others started voicing their agreement, and I found myself unable to offer anything in rebuttal. You leave us with no choice but to lock you up. Wait, this is a mistake. I was just... In the end, I was detained by the others and locked inside the cage in the courtyard. What possessed me to even say that? I couldn't remember. But it was too late for regrets. I had no strength left to even sigh. Only a little while later, my consciousness fled from me. I had no idea how long I was unconscious. When I next opened my eyes, I saw that the cage had been unlocked. Unsure of what that meant, I pushed the door open nervously and stepped outside, only to notice that someone was lying in the cage next to mine. I ran over to see who it was.
Ava.
Why is Ava dead? I didn't even need to check. She was clearly already gone. The cage was unlocked. I went inside and touched her arm. It was deathly cold. She'd been dead for at least a few hours.
What's going on here?
I stamped down my disquieting thoughts and quickly started searching for the others. My next destination was the library. As soon as I entered, I saw...
Yoshika!
I checked her body. She wasn't breathing and had no pulse. Judging from how she felt, it seemed like she had died a few hours ago as well. Thinking everyone might be in their rooms, I proceeded to the roof. It was eerily silent all around. There were no signs of life anywhere. Still convinced there had to be somebody around, I opened every single door to check. Takamaru's room, Haruko's room, Darumi's rooms, their rooms were completely empty, abandoned. Kurara's room was next. I went inside and my glance fell on her bed. Lying there was...
No! Kurara too!
I checked her body. Like Eva and Kiyoshika, she was cold to the touch.
No, wait. Maybe...
Clinging to a ray of hope, I decided to move Kurara's body to the infirmary. But... too much time has passed since death. Impossible to revive, was all the monitor would display. I had a really bad feeling about this whole thing. Dark despondency pooled and congealed at the pit of my stomach. But it's fine. It's going to be fine. That's what I kept telling myself as I continued searching. I checked every room on the second and third floors, and then any other rooms I had yet checked. I didn't find anyone. Finally, I reached the first floor. Upon stepping up inside the mysterious room with no name, I saw...
Yugamu.
There was no need to even check on his body. I could feel an eerie chill crawling underneath my skin and spreading to the rest of my body. The last place I visited was the garage. I pushed the door open and cautiously stepped inside. And then... when I finally registered the scene before me, I thought I could hear the sound of my heart breaking apart. I felt nothing, not even sadness or despair. I simply turned over the bodies mechanically and emotionlessly. Takamaru, Ima, Darumi, and Tsubasa's hearts had been removed through their backs. Acting on a hunch, I peered through underneath Haruko's clothing to check her back as well. There was a large empty cavity there as well, just as I had suspected. But I was no longer capable of reasoning this though. My mental faculties had been taken over by a thick, impenetrable fog. Stepping outside, I wandered around aimlessly for a while before coming to a stop in the schoolyard. I stood rooted to the spot in a daze for quite some time. Then a passing soundless breeze blew past. As I took in the breeze, a slight sense of suspicion flashed through the back of my mind. How many dead bodies have I found? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nozomi's the only one we haven't found. I was put in the prison cell on day 75. How many survivors were there at the time? Including myself, there were 12, which meant... But that suspicion was quickly dispelled from my mind when the remaining 2 survivors appeared before me. We fought so hard in defensive battles. Everyone gave their all. We even beat Vectionus. And yet... this is what we woke up to.
Takumi. You killed them all, right?
What?
We're the last 3 still alive. No one else but you could have done it.
Her accusations jolted my mind into action, and I started to defend myself desperately.
No, it wasn't me! I went through the same ordeal too! My cage was unlocked when I woke up and I walked out to almost everybody dead!
You really think we'll believe you after what you've already done?
Who else could have done this, huh? Tell us!
The 3 of us were the only ones still alive. It stood to reason that one of us had to be the killer.
Come on, we're waiting! Who killed everybody if not you?
It was...
Who killed everybody? I think it was Takumi.
I think... I probably just didn't remember it.
Yeah. Because there's no way either of you here could have done all that. That means you must be right. It was me. I must have killed everybody, somehow, without being conscious of it. I slumped my shoulders and hung my head weakly. Immediately after...
Oh, I knew it.
As Moko said that, she reached behind her and took out a large butcher knife. The next thing I knew, I was staring at my kneeled body, arms drooping lifelessly on both sides. How was I able to see my own body from this angle? That was the last thought that ran through my mind before I blacked out completely. Okay! Terminated Sumino. Okay, we got an ending. I actually want to go back to who killed Shoma and guess wrong during this one. Oh, we get special endings for killing Eva or killing saying it was Takumi. I wonder if those go into separate routes, though. It just gives you the answer. Who killed everybody, say Nozomi or Moko? Let's say Moko.
You! Moko Mochiro!
Yeah, let's see. You killed everyone. It had to have been you. There's no mistake about it. Where did she get the butcher knife? Moko charged me deliriously while brandishing a massive butcher knife. I instinctively grabbed her wrist and snatched the butcher knife away and... slashed her neck. I watched in horror as Moko collapsed to the ground. I killed her. I hadn't intended to, but it just happened. My knees were knocking against each other. My strength gave out, and the butcher knife fell to the ground. Immediately after...
Moko! Moko!
Well, there goes any chance Takumi had of hooking up with Nozomi.
No!
I just killed that ship. Nozomi screamed at the top of her lungs and dashed over. The knife that had fallen from my hand was laying at my feet. She quickly picked it up and swung it wildly.
Nozomi.
Honestly,
Why?
I feel good about her killing Takumi. I feel like this is revenge for the cult of Takumi route. Nozomi was standing in front of me with an astonished look on her deathly pale face. I stared absently at her until my consciousness faded into nothingness. Mystery route, revenge for Moko. We are clearing through these endings, gang!
I'm sorry, Nozomi, but you're the only one who could have done this!
How? How could you even say such a thing? It wasn't me. It really wasn't me. No, forget it. I don't care anymore. Everyone died like that. So I... She suddenly screamed at the top of her lungs and ran off toward the wall of fire. What?
Wait! Nozomi!
Oh my god. I quickly followed her. Before long, we reached the wall of fire. But Nozomi did not slow down. She continued running at full speed, right into the wall of fire.
No!
She's just like her mother. This wasn't what I wanted. All because I made that accusation. Because of me, Nozomi. No, wait, it's going to be fine. I may still be able to make it. I'll save Nozomi, drag her out of those flames, and... My body was already moving before I could finish the thought. I launched myself into the fiery flames. The very next moment... I was vaporized in an instant. My consciousness ceased to just as quickly as my body was reduced to ashes. We're making it through these endings. We're gonna be at the double digits before we know it. The person who killed Shoma is... Is Eva the one behind this? Yeah, sure, let's go with that. I don't know how, though.
The real killer. You! Ava!
What are you saying, Takumi? I came to the school on day 21. I couldn't have written the first threatening note or killed Gaku.
Oh, Takumi did that. Eito did that.
That means I couldn't have been X.
Indeed.
What?
I didn't say you were X. What I said was you're the person who killed Shoma.
I did not. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Shut your mouth and just watch. I'll be exposing every last detail of your criminal wrongdoings from start to finish. Huh?
And you were the only one with the key, Takumi. Yes, I did have the key. So you couldn't have used it. You used another way to get inside. Another way? The key lies in the design of that cage.
The design? What are you talking about?
The bottom part of the cage isn't secured in place.
It's just a heavy iron cage mounted on a base.
I don't understand. That cage isn't secured in place.
The cage could simply be lifted up.
So you went inside from the bottom. What nonsense is this, Takumi? How is it possible for anyone to lift up such a heavy metal structure? Very true. That cage weighs about a ton. It's not something anyone can move with their bare hands. Wait, are you contradicting yourself right now?
You claimed I lifted it up, but now you're saying it's too heavy to be lifted? Is there even...
You used buoyancy.
Buoyancy? That's right. You made the courtyard a watertight space by closing off the drains. And then you flooded the entire place. There's a fountain there, right? You opened the valve tight. You opened the valve to fully release an enormous amount of water through the nozzles, turning it into something like an erupting geyser or open dam. You left the fountain valve wide open for a while to fill the space with water. Oh, I'm sorry. Your explanation is so outrageous I couldn't help but be amused. Takumi, do you not know how powerful water pressure can be? Even if we assume the water was released into the environment after covering up any openings, some would still leak out because those walls would be under constant pressure from the force of water. No, that wouldn't happen. That's how this place was designed. Because the courtyard was originally constructed for a certain special purpose.
Special purpose? What?
This place was a biotope to be used for space development research.
It was designed to be able to withstand atmospheric pressures many times Earth's range. That's what Tsubasa said. Yeah, that's right. Hi. And that's why it's impossible for water pressure to cause any leaks. After a while, this place became filled with water. Considering the water flow of that fountain, it probably took about 3 hours for the water to rise up to the top of the cage. Shoma was killed at about 4 a.m. Counting back to the time brings us to about 1 a.m. for the approximate time the water started accumulating. Even if you were right, the entire cage is made of iron. It literally weighs a ton. You said so yourself.
It wouldn't shift around simply from being submerged in water. Buoyancy doesn't work.
By using sturdy rubber balloons.
Rubber balloons? Ones that can be filled with air up to a capacity of about 10 liters. You inflated 100 of these balloons and put them into the cage. To be more precise, you put up the deflated balloons into the cage first before inflating them. Archimedes' principle states that an upward buoyant force is equal to the weight of displaced water. 100 balloons that hold 10 liters each equals 1,000 kilograms. In other words, the effect is 1 ton upward force. That cancels out the weight of the cage and reduces it to near zero. You'd barely need to use a single finger to lift it then.
Huh?
You were easily able to lift the cage with just the slightest effort. 110-liter rubber balloons? That's just not... It would be impossible for me to inflate so many balloons in such a short time. How could anyone have done that? More than likely, you used a certain tool.
A certain tool?
The bicycle tire pump in the parking lot. It's an electric air compressor.
It's mounted on the wheels and can easily be moved here. Using that would make it a literal breeze to fill up all those balloons. I see. That method does make it possible for the cage to be lifted up while it's submerged in water. But don't you find it strange? If the cage had been underwater for that long, Shoma would have drowned inside. Yet the revival-matic stated his cause of death was hemorrhagic shock.
Doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events you've laid out? If your deduction holds true, Shoma would have drowned to death before he was stabbed.
No, wait, that was wrong.
Shoma.
Doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events you've laid out? If you...
The cage wasn't completely submerged.
The water only had to stop just below the topmost part of the cage for it to work. Discharging water equal to the volume of the cage itself created a buoyant force needed. Shoma kept his head above the water's surface and breathed through his mouth, gaping and gasping for air the whole time. You took this opportunity to lift the cage while underwater, slip inside, and stab him multiple times. What happened to the water in the courtyard after that? You opened the drainage walls to drain it away.
Then the courtyard should have still been wet when we discovered Shoma's body.
I don't remember. I don't know.
Just like you.
Doesn't that if your deduction holds true?
The cage.
Then the courtyard should have still been wet when we discovered Shoma's body. But
You used blasts of hot air to dry the place up.
What? I mentioned just now that the courtyard was originally created as a biotope for space development research. Because of that, it's perfectly capable of reproducing a desert environment, which means it had the ability to blast hot wind around the area. After draining the water away, you activated that setting to dry the courtyard. Due to the lack of time, however, the water didn't dry up completely. When we first discovered Shoma's body, it was actually still somewhat damp. It was dry enough, though. Plus, we were all distracted by Shoma's dead body. That's why we failed to notice the remaining wetness in the area. The only thing we did notice was that Shoma's body was damp. Fine, I understand. This utter foolishness. Let me summarize what you were trying to say. I went underwater, lifted up the cage, and stabbed Shoma multiple times while he was gasping for air at the surface. Then I dove underwater again and turned the valve and handle to open the drainage wall. Look, Takumi, I am neither a diver nor a mermaid, even if I was an expert at holding my breath.
a regular person would struggle to do even one of the things you're accusing me of.
No. It's absolutely possible.
You used your mask, Eva. Tsubasa told me about it. There's a miniature air tank in your mask. It allows you to use it as a sealed gas mask. You can breathe for up to 30 minutes using it like that. Yeah, I did say that. I never thought it would work underwater, though.
Yes, I remember now. My mask did have a function like that. But someone stole it from me. That person must be the real killer. Yes, that has to be it. I know I am right.
You've been cornered and you know it, Ava. Just admit that you're the one behind this. Your mask was unique. It's custom made to fit a specific shape. According to Tsubasa, you're the only one who can wear it.
Hey, you ever notice that all of the, Veshness and Eva both have streaks in their hair? And Takumi also has a streak in his hair? Anyone else, maybe that means something. I don't know. I don't know.
You were right, Ava. This isn't a crime that a regular person could have committed. Only a diver, mermaid, or someone with that particular mask could have done it. Ergo, the person who could wear that particular mask is the culprit. And only one person in this world can put on that mask. That person is standing right in front of me. It's none other than you, Ava! You're the only one who could have killed Shoma!
No! 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 No!
I can't blame her. We took her as a prisoner of war, forced her to fight on her side, kept her in a cage, all took detonators to a bomb she has in her. I can't blame her for this. They showed up, slaughtered her people, tried to take her land, took her prisoner, and made her fight for them, under the threat of death. I can't blame her for trying to start killing these fuckers. Takumi, you're right. I killed Shoma. The method and flow of events were as you deduced. I have nothing to add. But have I really done something wrong? I too had been threatened by X. I had no choice. X is definitely Eito possessing Takumi. When did you meet X? A short while before 1 a.m. on day 51, just before the murder. And you opened it? Like, the way that Eito would have escaped was the way Eito escaped last time, which is like, Eito escaped by the cage by stabbing himself in the heart without the infuser, which could have made him transform, but also could have killed him, and he took the risk, did that, broke out, fucking, came back, fucking killed everyone, and then, went back into the cage. And you opened it? Yes. Why? The thought that it might be X outside that door did flash through my mind briefly. But I am not part of the SDU, and I wasn't even here when you saw the threatening note. I just assumed I could not have been on X's radar.
Well, what did X say?
I have the remote detonator that will trigger the bomb inside your body. Here it is, in case you think I'm lying. I'm going to give you some instructions now, but you don't have much time. Follow my orders quickly, or else. Should you go against me, or tell the others about my existence, I will detonate the bomb in your body immediately.
Wait, what's going on? How did X get their hands on the detonator?
Huh? Maybe he stole it from one of us.
No, X said they obtained it through the proper channels, from Tsubasa herself. No! I duplicated a device and gave a copy to everyone. I'll pass you yours later, Takumi. Now we are 100% sure that X is one of us. No, I think you can remove me from that list. I passed the detonator to Haruko and never got it back. I haven't received the duplicate from Tsubasa yet. That is fair. Sir Takumi should be taken off the list of suspects. Everybody else started scrutinizing each other with great suspicion, not daring to even move their bodies, only their eyes. Hey Eva, just one thing. Yes? X said they'd blow you up if you told the others about him, right? Yes. And that's what you're doing now. You feeling okay?
Why hasn't X blown you up yet, indeed?
I believe they could if they wanted to. The device is small enough to fit in the palm of someone's hand. It could be hidden in a sleeve, on their chest, or around the waist and no one would notice. It would be easy to simply press the button at the opportune moment. But X cannot do that for one particular reason. And what's that? Takumi, do you remember what I told you about the bomb mechanism before? Yes, I remember. Anyone standing within a 25-yard radius at that time will be blown to smithereens. 25? That makes the blast diameter the length of an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Basically the length of this entire courtyard.
That's why X isn't pressing the button.
Because they'll be caught in the blast as well.
And it's not like they can simply run away. Taking such action is as good as admitting you are X. That's why X got their hands tied, eh?
This is the perfect opportunity.
For what?
For us to get more information about X from Eva. Since they can't blow her up, we can ask her anything we want.
Great idea. Eva, do you know anything else about X? Their height, body shape? They were dressed in the same outfit Shoma previously described and used a voice changer as well. So it was not possible to discern who they were before their looks and voice, but...
But?
Eva looked down. A short, hesitant silence later, she spoke up again.
Actually, I figured out who X is.
Huh?
How'd you figure that out? By their mannerisms. Their mannerisms? You know how some people will subconsciously touch their chin or play with their hair when thinking about something? Those sorts of mannerisms. They tried really hard to hide it, of course, but I still managed to pick up on them. So,
Who is X?
All right. I will tell you. X is. The real identity of X is.
suddenly a sense of dread washed over me. My mind started working overtime as I went through all the possibilities. Maybe X really would press the button now. Everyone thinks X won't do it because that would mean blowing themselves up as well. But if their identity was revealed, it would be the end for them anyway. They might even prefer to die with everyone else in the blast over being caught and imprisoned. But in that case, why weren't they pressing the button now before Eva could reveal their identity? Were they banking on the possibility that Eva might say the wrong name? If she did, X could just sit back and watch the show without doing anything. And if she really said X's real name, they could always press the button at that time. Surely that was why X was adopting a wait-and-see attitude right now. It might be dangerous for Eva to say the name out loud. Even if she got it right, everyone would die anyway. Still, I might just be overthinking things. X could be hesitating simply because they were afraid to die. What do I do? What should I do? There was literally no time to hesitate any longer. My final decision was... I will not shut Eva up! Let her speak! I decided to let Eva finish her sentence without interruption. However, she stayed silent after that and refused to say another word. What's the matter, Lady Eva?
X got your tongue?
Or do you actually not know who X is? What? Then why did you pretend like you knew? At Eva's question, Eva suddenly... She smirked and let out a chuckle, looking as if she was mocking us. When I saw her expression, the truth dawned on me. Of course, you're afraid, right? You're afraid to die. God, she's so fucking hot. Anyway. Even if you were forced to do so by X, you were still the one to kill Shoma. That is an unforgivable act. Then you thought to yourself, I'm going to be thrown into the cage again. This time they're never going to let me out. Why should I stay then? I'll blow myself up and take everyone in the SDU with me. But you were afraid to face death. You never had the courage to begin with. So you decided to leave it in the hands of X, right? The act of pressing the button to activate the bomb?
Oh, that's why you lied about knowing X's identity.
Wait, that means you're going along with all this time was just an act? When you said you hated Feshness, was that a lie too? Also, you could gain our trust and gather intel while hiding in plain sight? Why would she like you guys? You're colonizers! Eva said nothing in response. Her lips didn't move for a second. But something else did. Her hands. The detonator is on a joint in my left pinky finger. Moving it in a particular motion triggers an explosion. Oh shit. Honestly, I'm rooting for her. My body moved before my mind did. I exploded into action and dashed over to Eva at breakneck speed. I grabbed her left wrist and shouted loudly.
Get away, everyone!
At that, everybody made a mad scramble for the exit. Right after that, Eva grabbed my shoulder and forced me to face her. As I did, I saw a raised foot and found myself being kicked away. She's girl bossing right now. I landed near the exit, where there were 5 other people. They had just reached the gate and were not yet outside. The other 5 had rushed to the exit on the other side and were about the same distance away as well. I quickly stood up and looked in Eva's direction. She pinched her little finger and said,
Is this the courage you said I didn't have?
Oh, fuck. She pulled on her little finger without a trace of hesitation. Okay. Okay.
Up and Atom troops, time to rise and shine!
Oh my god. Okay, the good news is we unlocked, like, we cleared, like, 5 endings so far, at least. So that's great. And also, we're probably almost done with this route because of just how many fucking time skips we've had. We're on day 80 already. There's 20 days left of this route. Oh. I really hope the route gets finished quick, because then we can go back to playing a route with Gaku in it. But yeah, that Eva blew herself up. That sucked for her, but I think this is as good a place as any to end it for today. We'll be back next week, and until next time, show's over.